I was thinking about how time is so very important. And what made me think about time and the importance of time and using our time wisely, I was reading the book of James in chapter 4, the book of James, where it states that we are just a vapor who appears for a little time and then vanishes away. And when I thought about it in my mind, when it said that, something struck me. We are just vapor and we appear for a short time and then we just vanish away. And that kind of put me to the realization how important it is for us to use our time wisely and how time passes by so quick. Because I think about, I have vivid memories when I was a little boy and then going to elementary and then middle school, then high school, then college, and then, getting married, then having kids, and how things go so quick. Time moves along so quick, and no man can stop time. You can get back a lot of things. You can lose money, you can lose material items, you can lose all type of stuff, but you cannot get back time. And we should just value our time in the right fashion to be productive people while here on this earth. I think about how God has placed all of us here for a reason, and it's prudent of us to be able to use our time wisely and accomplish the purpose while we're here on this earth. And if you know that you should be doing something, you should get right to it. You shouldn't say one day. You shouldn't say I'll do it next week or next month. If you know you have a plan, have a goal, or have a purpose that God has placed you here for, you should take initiative right away, because nothing is guaranteed. And a lot of times we think we have a lot of time and we push things along. We kick the can down the road. You know that you should be starting a business. You should be writing that book. You know that you should write their course, start their course. You know that you should travel the world and do the things that you want to do, but you procrastinate because you think you have time, but we don't have the time that we think we have. So it serves us well to be able to do the things we need to do and seek our purpose while here on this earth. And I think when we think about it from that aspect, seeking the purpose that God has for us, that's when we can kind of get out of the me mindset and get in the mindset of what God wants of me. Because when you just live for yourself and live for, just doing things for yourself, that's not a good way to live, because that fire or that drive is going to die out. But when you know that God has a purpose for you, you seek it and you find it out, that purpose can drive you to do the things that you should be doing instead of procrastinating and kicking the can down the road. And I think one thing that holds us back is fear. The fear of doing something, people judging us, people looking at us, and that'll cause us to not do things that we should be doing, that you should be doing, and we kick the can down the road and we just don't take the necessary action that we should have. But going forward, I want us to be action takers. We have to be action takers. We have to be taking action. Instead of saying one day, we should be saying day one. If you know you should be doing something, make steps right away. And don't look at it like it's just a big, huge, monumental task, but look at it like, hey, let me start this task today and do part of it, and do part of it tomorrow, do part of it the day after. And that's how we can get things done. But we cannot let fear take over, because when we let fear take over, it causes us not to do what we should be doing. And then time just moves along. Time just moves along. And I think about how God can seize time. It's a Bible verse that states that 1,000 years to God is like a day. So he doesn't see time the way we see time. We see time as, one day, a week, a month. But God can do anything he wants to with time. So it's so very important to take that action and not look at time the way we see it, but look at time as the way God sees it, and have that sense of urgency and doing what we need to be doing while here on this earth, because we don't want to be one day, looking back as we get older and wishing that, hey, I wish I would have did this. I wish I would have did that. Because they say, the most, expensive place in the world is the grave, because a lot of people had a lot of ideas, a lot of bold visions, and they just had it stick with them instead of taking action. And I bet if those people were here, they were like, man, I wish I would have did that. I wish I would have took a chance on this and did this and did that, So don't be that way. Don't be that person who's in the grave, who stood on ideas and just let it hold inside of them, but use those ideas and bring it out to the world. And that's what I believe God wants us to do. He wants us to use our ideas, or use the ideas that He's given us, and be able to use it to make this world a better place. And that's what it's about. Our purpose here on this earth is not really about ourselves. I believe God wants us to have fun. He wants us to enjoy ourselves, but also He wants us to accomplish His purpose. And I believe when we accomplish His purpose and we doing what we need to be doing, that's when we can feel refreshed, we can have energy, and we can have fun, But I think about people who do things every day they don't want to do. You work that job you don't want to work, but then you don't make steps after work to be able to build the things you need to be building. And some people live that way. They live as if, just take it day by day and just kind of going through the motions. So I'm asking you guys to not go through the motions, but live life and accomplish your God-given purpose while here on this earth. And that's how you can make a difference, and that's how you can really be fulfilled. So don't waste time. Start now. I just want to share it with you guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this conversation. And share this video, hit that like button, subscribe. And I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.